Okay, everyone, I hope you're ready for today. How are you all? How are you all? You all good? Yeah? That was a bit quiet. I said, are you guys good? Are you guys okay? Yeah, okay. Please join me in opening prayer. Dear Heavenly Parent and true parents, thank you for this lovely day today. Thank you for everyone gathering here to hopefully take in this good message from the sermon. I'd like to thank you for this glorious day, and I report this prayer in my name, William Tincturing Rainbow, Son Elijah Rainbow, Blame Family, RG. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about my week. So, first off, I'd like to say I got my provisional license. Which, it's only provisional though, so like I can't properly drive without someone under 21, but you know what I mean. Technically, legally I can drive, kinda, you know. But yeah, so next step after that is to apply for theory tests and stuff when I'm 17 and then drive, you know. Because my parents are driving for me at the moment. I want to learn how to drive so I can drive for them because they're getting because they're old, so I just want to drive for them. But anyway, enough about that. Let's get into the songs. Yeah?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's welcome up Ali for the songs.
Cheers for that epic introduction. Please rise, everybody. Alright, so everyone, it's good to see you all after one long month. Feels like it's been ages. How we doing? How we feeling? Yeah, good. In the words of Will, I was going to say that's quiet, but nah, it's pretty loud. Alright, let's go. Higher ground. for that, guys. Thank you for the energy. We're gonna bring it down now, and yeah, think of some gratitude to God in this next song. When I behold the Lord.
Okay, everyone, you can sit down now. I like the energy in the songs, you know. Like, we're feeling a bit lively today, so I want to thank you all for singing well. But anyway, let's get ready for the sermon. Okay. I'm pretty sure we can all tell that there's a lovely older sister in the back who's going to give the sermon today. Ooh, I wonder who it can be. Whoa. Okay, so let's welcome up our older sister, Sonia.
Hi everyone. Hello. It's really nice to see you and to be here. Actually, it's been a really, really long time since I last gave a HARP talk. And I haven't been also for a very long time on a HARP workshop, so I feel like I'm not so connected to this age group. And I'm sorry about that, because personally I have 3 younger siblings, but I don't have any older siblings. So for me having, like, I remember that in church or SDF having older siblings was like, whoa, you know, like a big thing for me. And I feel sorry that I haven't been so present for you. So I hope that, yeah, my door can always be open and I can be here more. It's been now 12 years that I've been blessed with Kenneth, and I feel like I'm just name dropping because like, well, I'm nobody but I'm just. The last year has been very special. Well, first because because we had our first son. And before, I don't know if you know, but before that I was working in the humanitarian field, and I was especially in the Middle East and in Gaza and in Palestine. So the last year has also been really tough for me for that reason, and it's been kind of a weird year where just so huge life changes have been coming at the same time. So it's been it's been a weird year. But yeah, sometimes in life when the weird things happen is also when you kind of learn the most, or when you actually stop and look inside. Anyway, that's not what my talk is going to be about, but yeah, I just wanted to say, and I'm from Finland originally. I don't know if you knew that. I want to start by showing you these lines. So you can see that there's one line on this side, and then you see that there are 3 different lines on this side. Which one of these 3 lines matches the standard line? C. Is there anybody who disagrees? Everybody thinks it's C? Okay. If I was to ask this question to you one by one, and everybody else said B, would you still say C? Yeah? Okay. This was actually an experiment that has been replicated in different parts of the world. And actually, the person who first did it found that actually in a group where there were seven or 8 people, only one of whom was a real participant, everybody else was paid to be there. When the first people all said an obviously wrong answer like B, then a lot of cases actually the person would not say the correct answer, but to go along with the others and to say the wrong answer. 1/3 of people, so 32% of people would say the wrong answer knowing that is the wrong answer, just because everybody else said so before them. When they were in the room alone, or they had to give the answer by themselves, virtually everybody gave the correct answer. Okay, so 1/3 of people on average, and when they repeated this, actually 75% of the time, everybody lies at least once. Why do you think people would give the wrong answer, which is obviously wrong?
To fit in. To fit in.
To fit in, yeah.
To be normal.
Yeah, to be normal.
They're not confident.
Yeah. People also said like they don't want to look stupid in front of other people or something like this. So that's a study on conformity, and that means, of course, doing things because everybody else is doing those things. One of the best advice that I got when I was a teenager was don't be afraid to be different. That was a very challenging advice for me personally, because I had a very strong desire to be accepted or to not be different. And as you can see, that's actually a relatively normal feeling. We are social beings, we want to be accepted by other people, and that's very normal to us. I felt like for me it was very strong, this feeling to want to be like others. I don't know if you know this joke about like 3 different people from different countries passing an elephant, and the first thing's like, oh, I wonder what it's like to ride on that, the first one thinks, I wonder what it's like to ride on the elephant. And the second one says, well, I like those white, how do you call those, tusks? Oh, I wonder like what kind of jewelry I can make out of it. And then the third person comes and thinks, I wonder what the elephant thinks about me. And like that was really me, I'm like very self-conscious about like what people think about me. So this kind of advice about don't be afraid to be different was especially challenging as a teenager in general. I promise you it gets better. I really felt like also when you get older, it's not as bad as when you're a teenager or when you're younger in general. These kind of old people who just go up and like do whatever they want and they don't care, because they're just so old that like they don't care what others think about them, and I think it's really great. But when we're younger, we have to tackle like kind of fight with that a little bit more. But yeah, at the same time, I also realized that people who I think it was kind of my pride in some ways that made me not like do everything crazy that like my classmates were doing. Like I remember being on one of the birthday party of my classmate, and yeah, and people were like drinking wine like as a toast, and I had like and her younger siblings were there as well with their friends, and they like all had paper cups, and everybody else had a glass, and then I was there with a paper cup, like yay. Just like with the younger siblings. But I think that in some ways, not compromising even a little bit makes it in some ways easier. Yeah, and also I realized that people who make change in the world, usually they are people who are a little bit different, whether that's in the spiritual sense or in a maybe more externally, like Gandhi or Greta Thunberg, who I don't really like using as an example, but she's somebody who's quite different, and she was able to do something different because she was different, right? Like she wasn't just trying to do or what everybody else in her class is trying to do, but she had a conviction and she tried to do something in a different way. And of course, from our kind of spiritual ancestors, you know, Moses and Jesus, they were all a little bit different from other people in their society. And sometimes actually, unfortunately, it feels like you have to be a little bit different in order to experience God, because God is, you know, it's very easy to be, to forget God and to forget spiritual things because of the material things that are around us and that are very easy to fall into. And of course the same with True Mother and True Father, who kind of, in True Mother's case, had a bit of an isolated life, and True Father also describing how he was a very determined young person and, you know, in that sense doing things in a different way than others. But that's why it's really important to actually have other people, or let's say it really helps if you have other people who have that kind of similar desire to be different, which is in, you know, yeah, in this environment a lot of times, in our unificationist environment, and or religious people in general. And yeah, for me that was also really important growing up to have, you know, these, HARP and like Friends of Faith. And I remember that it was especially challenging when, I went to STF for 2 years, and there was one particular team where the team leader, I don't know why he was team leader, but anyway, I felt like the environment was kind of reminding me of school. Like they were basically kind of making, like the team leader and basically almost all the other members were kind of making like dirty jokes, and I just didn't really feel good with that. And you know, that is kind of more challenging because it's like, I have expectations from these people in a way, you know, I don't have as many expectations from my school friend, but how do I do when people that I, would like to be different aren't, you know, how do I act in that situation? I went to a church one time during this time to pray, and we sometimes, I don't know, it was like a thing on STF that you like pick up the songbook, the church songbook, and then you just randomly like put your finger on 3 words, and then you see like what is God's message to you. And for me, when I was praying about this, it was like, mine stay white. So what I got from that is like, you know, like what belongs to me, you know, like stay, you know, what I consider to be pure, what I consider to be the right thing, you know, even though actually in the end it ended up being the most tough condition for me, fundraising condition for me, because of this environment. But then it helped to know that actually God is there, and God has expectations for me, even if, you know, whatever anybody else does, you know, I have a responsibility to do what I think is the right thing. I mean, another thing that really helps in addition to other people is, of course, this relationship with God. And I used to always think, so I wanted to say that it was the most tough condition, but actually, in the whole 2 years of SPF, this one was the time where I felt closest to God, actually. Sometimes it's the time when when you're going through tough times, it's actually a really good opportunity to be close to God, because God is very lonely, so he can really relate to you well when you're lonely. And of course that also gives you the satisfaction in a way of knowing that you do the right thing, because I think if you go little by little compromise, then in the end you will not recognize yourself anymore. And this is a thing that will last for your whole lifetime. I think that it's always something you need to challenge yourself and reflect, like, am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Is there anything that I'm not doing that I should be doing? And but so yeah, I also in being different, I realized, or later when we talked about with Kenneth, that being confident is actually quite a big thing, right, in being different. Because, and that's especially when it comes to things like, you know, not drinking alcohol when everybody else is. We were drinking, we were living in France for about 5 years, where the drinking culture is like very big, but also it's not like, you know, it's like, oh, a glass of wine here and there. So with Kenneth we had quite a lot of discussions, but I mean, as you know, he's quite a confident person, and that really helps, you know, if you're like, yeah, I don't drink, but you're very confident, right? Because if you're like, when you're a teenager, for me it used to be more like, yeah, I'm allergic, and I didn't say that, but you know, like you kind of feel like you just want to come up with an excuse rather than to say like, yeah, like this is what I stand for, and actually people really respect you for standing. And Kenneth, especially Kenneth, had several experience with that, like where he just was, you know, just really naturally in telling people, and you know, even in France where it's not that normal, yeah, you get a lot of respect for that as well. So you know, be confident also in when you're different, and it helps compared to if you're just kind of shy, like, yeah, I'm just gonna do like this, you know, maybe. Makes a big difference. Yeah, but at the same time, of course, we need to keep a certain degree of humility as well, because you can also go kind of to the other end and just be like, I'm just going to do my own thing and not really care what anybody else, you know, thinks. So we need to also have a certain degree of humility, and I think it's really difficult to find that balance, and balance in general in life, because it's so easy to either be one way or the other. It's somehow easier, like it's more difficult to actually be balanced. But yeah, as religious, or as a spiritual and religious person, yeah, I find a lot of meaning in reflecting and looking at my actions and talking about it, yeah, with someone like Kenneth or other people that have similar values to me. Yeah, to have a degree of humility as well. And as Trifada was saying, you know, when we go up, like sometimes we go up and then we need to go down as well. So while we have to have a certain determination to do things in a certain way, we also need to always, what helped me is to ask, or to think, you know, if God wanted me to suddenly do something different, would I be willing to give that up, or would I be like, no, I still want to do that because I think it's the right thing to do, because I think it's the right thing to do. And that kind of was a good way to check me, because a lot of times it's like, no, but it is the right thing to do. Like, but yeah, just as a kind of exercise to see, like, you know, am I putting actually God first, or am I putting something else first? So yeah, this advice, don't be afraid to be different, that I got. Actually, it was my friend, I don't know if you know Bogdan Palmer, he is vice president, something like this. So it was actually him who gave this advice to me. And I feel like actually the essence of it is not to have fear, not to have fear control you. And what you do. Because a lot of times it is actually fear that makes us do things, or most importantly, makes us not do things. And we're not necessarily even aware of that. We don't know whether it's fear or whether it's sometimes our heart, you know, are we guided, are we making this decision based on our heart or based on fear? Sometimes it can be difficult to tell the difference, but for me, yeah, that's kind of the main message there. And that's what I wanted to share today is don't be afraid to be different. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, everyone, it's reflection time, so take your time. Okay. Let's give a round of applause to Sonia, ladies and gentlemen. What I'd like to say is, me personally, I've never heard of the ABC lines before, but I think it's like a method that we can put into our daily lives about making sure that if we know what the right answer is, that we stick to our morals and do not follow other people if we want to fit in, and to not let fear control us by being different and being an outlier. I'd also like to say, just because we're all BCs here doesn't mean that every BC is perfect, and like because we all have the same religion doesn't mean one BC is perfect, we should always listen to that BC. You should always have your own mind and think, oh, is that truly right? Because not everyone is perfect, and you should listen to God and stay determined to what you think is true. I'd like to say, before we have the offering song, there's this blue bag over here. So if you have any donations, please come to the front and offer it. And yeah, let's get ready for the offering song.
an offering prayer. Dearest Heavenly Father, two parents, thank you so much that we could all be here today and that we're here offering up our weeks to you now. And I pray that you can accept our offerings substantially and also in our presence. Thank you so much for working through this service today and speaking through Sonia, and I pray that we can take our words on and use them in our following week and in our lives. Thank you so much for everyone, all my brothers and sisters here that have showed up to this service, and for everyone that's taken a part in making it possible. Thank you so much, and I would like to report this prayer in my name, Holly Bain, daughter of Bain family, blessed and family, on behalf of all my brothers and sisters here, Arju.
How many? Okay. And what? 46 is also numbers or not?
Yeah, maybe 2 groups.
Okay, so now we're gonna have discussion groups. Okay, I'm gonna point at you and give you a number.
Maybe sit down. Let's sit down.
Yeah, sit down so it's easier for me as well, you know. So you gotta remember your number, because like I can't lie, sometimes when the MC points at me, I'm like, are you pointing at me or the person behind me? So I just gotta make sure I'm clear with that. So for the brothers there will be 3 groups, and for the sisters there will be 2 groups. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah? Okay, for sisters, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. If anyone doesn't know their number, I'm sure we can figure it out by numbers of discussion groups. Like if one's bigger than the other, you know, just fit in, you know. So.
Alright, so 1 here, 2,
Yeah.
and 3. I guess 1 and 2.
Question?
Just read that.
Okay.
What group are you?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. I don't see.
Alright, 3. Brothers 3.
Nice to meet you. They're just like going to be 1 and 2. I might need to leave.
Well, join us.
Guys, get snacks.
It's okay. How was your week? Start with.
I already said. That was my provisional
That's application.
Alright guys, firstly just discuss about your week, secondly anything the rest of the day we'll talk, and then thirdly a time where maybe you stuck to your beliefs amidst adversity. Every day, bro. Every day. How about you?
What's happening? Yeah.
And so usually I end at 5, but then sometimes I stay for like 6 because we're recording a music video and then we're editing it and just staying behind to finish that.
Really wholesome, mild.
Last year.
St. Joe's is someone's people who actually
I was kind of putting it off like, oh, I can use some of my time to like.
Start next week.
Oh wait, that's me as well, graduate. Busy week of mine. Renovation work. Hard work. You're just a handyman, you just direct stuff. Vacuum that, scrape the entire wall, lift like all this heavy stuff. I haven't seen you for it was bad. If you're at fundraising, you make that I'm a full-time barista, so I work I can pick you up, no charge. I can drive. I'm just yeah, not legally. I'm due to do my test. Hopefully by everyone's picking up. Yeah.
I mean, bit about last week. Yeah. Bit about last week, then I made Thai meat curry, and then I made butter chicken. The size of me.
If we quit, we know it's 2 hours.
My visa
My legs get really sore. I'm listening, man. It's really tough. That still comes now. Start training again. Otherwise, no, that's progress.
I've been living on the team.
You gotta tell me how you get that summer jacket. You didn't have
Oh, I did a spirituality.
I think it's 100 days in different.
100 days and 300 like church and worship.
You did that?
No, I just
I think
for spirituality. I still people that it's like 6 hours. Yes. I don't even know. I looked at the contents of this it's so random.
Come on, man, this year actually counts.
It's the first 3 weeks. Our first year was easy on the first.
They didn't count.
They're like, I don't remember how it finished 7-7.
Oh.
But yeah, but I mean, pop like 9%.
Japanese and
I've seen the masters, I think it's it's like 10-30.
And then people come up to
And
you.
then I messed with because I was in Korea. I was basically saying it's behind.
she's 30, you're
8 months I got to be working for on Saturday, but I was second work, so
Women and girls have
yeah. I was up for that. Because I had 2 more nights on Friday and Saturday.
Oh, is it?
That one. You know what you're also
the news.
It's just pretty much
Community or something like that, so that's not expected to.
Is that brushing your teeth 2 times a day? Yeah, I was mad.
No, I met them through he's friends with and they're really into like the other couple Steve guy he was actually running before like 15 Korean seconds who they want to move to Hokkaido and do something with this property or something. So it's he was like speaking about his like into education and
So what? Those are the kids.
They basically help people apply.
Oh yeah, it's true.
After that, on my way home,
Oh yeah, right. Which resonate with?
Oh yeah.
In myself, I don't reckon, I was like, oh, that's
Honestly, I always think that most of us.
then I'm starting to
Yeah, we said.
I'm not
Maybe that's why.
and an experience.
Everyone here. It's just something. It's very good thing to know. You should never assume anything like that. Sometimes it's good because it allows people to do things for reasons that they actually shouldn't. Following like ideas, piety. We all make our own understanding of things, and I think that's what really makes us get through the times in which right, like in high school, like, well, I mean, to begin with, sure, you drink this because it's older. Eventually, you make up your own.
Some of my friends drink some of my own. I had some ways in life that I would just have myself, but it didn't never come
If you make that actual
and I think
self,
because I was like, oh, I don't do this. And they could see that I would be that way as well. Like, and I'm saying with like my friends now, like they know that I am this way, and like they tell other people like, why would you be that way? They know that so I really read what they were saying. And like,
I never did drink, which is my parents told me not to. Even with that, there was still
It's actually insane. I guess it was going well, right? So,
in terms of the inflation.
you know what it's about. Maybe I can start. Just keep going on.
I'll be home when it's
How much time?
How much time?
Finish?
Until 12.
Girls, you good to carry on for a while? 5 minutes? What time is it? It's 10. It's 4 to 12. Should we say 5 minutes? Is that enough for everyone? Yeah. 5 minutes.
I know the time, I just don't know how much time I have left.
Yeah, but 5 minutes. Oh yeah.
How do you feel when
Yeah, it's this idea of standing out in the crowd.
So really, I've had points in the past where I was doing my sort of thing and I have
Stand your ground.
if you don't have the kids like me, mine is actually think around that. You will lose it.
Yeah,
It's kind of like you're not growing in line, that's so
I just think it's stuck in my mind that like the generation someone like 6 years old knowing that I'm like, like the next generation is like, I'm just like, next evening,
Yeah, navigating what is
I did have social media until I was like,
I don't really know.
And I felt like I was afraid to be this guy around
Yeah, I got my
No, I did it the day before.
Yeah, if I'm even now, like, if I'm never worried, like, how it could turn out, like, it's like a 5 seconds straight in my head, like, I got, that makes me almost help me to snap out of my, security. Yeah, because often it's also just, I'm just kind of running out.
It comes from why
Why I actually did
it's an easy way to hold your standard,
For
right?
example, when you speak to someone, are you speaking like times?
I think when we grow up, we become so productive and have this mind.
Or because you love them, or because you want to understand them, even just that, even if it's that, you're not the most confident person.
Grew up with sheltered my family.
That's helped me a lot.
That's the only reason I am the way I am. To not have empathy and try to understand someone else's perspective. Yeah, it's not like a thing out there, God's eyes, which is one of the human natures, right?
Yeah, it's the main thing I know.
Yeah, because of course, you still have that standard,
I think one thing is realizing the idea that there's someone else is an illusion of like to see them as like that you don't know until you see how it's more like know that you are like
I mean, I'm in a process right now where I'm trying to I'm actually going to the boys. If you don't know, you should get it right push the kids.
with the thought of the bonus, even, I don't know if I make
that's yeah, I mean, I've kind of thought about it quite a lot, because
It's so interesting how far away we are. How
I like the
like other things on wax and all.
I think there should be kind of some sort of interaction, like some sort of guidance.
I'm definitely developing.
But it can't be always so
But of course, he does it just because he knows that house that he doesn't have to go to. No, that's not the
exactly. I mean, in a way, I don't know.
I think one has taken space.
It has to be.
I think it's like
You don't
you get some kind of like respect.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm not doing this to gain their respect. I'm not doing this things to gain their respect. But it's like I still shouldn't care about gaining their respect.
Because if you really know your heart is not really want to love it, like,
My intentions behind just
judgment and negative emotions, it's kind of just not telling you
different.
your heart doesn't have, you can think about it. Sometimes why do I feel like hate? No one needs to be judgment. It's real like elders. It's like true. Like really like sexual. I don't know about this. I feel negative about age, like that when it's big. That's just a sign to me that I have so much to grow in my heart.
You're not even homeschooled, right? Must be quite different there, no?
I think you've got some mindset to that.
It's a lot less diverse, isn't it?
1 minute. Final minute. Sorry, you get a kick out. Just makes me go, I'm better than you. Right. You can do it for yourself.
Okay, everyone, let's start wrapping up. Guys, let's end our combos. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna get into some announcements. Okay. So, there's a River South HARP service on the 17th of November. Here, we're gonna do what we did today. Start in the main hall and then come over here. Next Sunday service is in Livingston House on the 27th of October. That's main service. There's a board games day on Friday the 1st of November at Peace Embassy from 2:30 to 6. Benediction. Let's rise, everyone. Forgive, love, and unite.
Gratitude brings about heavenly fortune. Forgiveness opens people's minds, and love moves people's hearts. Let us be grateful for everything. Forgive our enemies and love our neighbors as we love ourselves, and work in wonders for peace.
Thank you, everybody. I guess we could take a picture with Sonia all together, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Let's put the chairs to the side and gather in front.
I don't think I'm in there either.
I was in that workshop before.
You got some really